Well, now according to our government, if you partake in this right here, you can't have this. And real quick before we get started, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, comment, and share the crap out of this video. Okay, on with the show. Well, if you lived in Oklahoma, you narrowly missed your constitutional rights being taken away from you if you smoked a little wacky tobacco. According to Fox News, that came up on this article about a Supreme Court case that almost set new firearms regulations for Oklahoma and probably the whole country. Let's get down to exactly what I read. A federal judge in Oklahoma ruled Friday that a law barring marijuana users from owning firearms is unconstitutional. Yay! I totally agree. To a point, we have to see exactly what they're talking about, but yeah, just because you use the THC there does not or should not bar you from anything. So, like I said, let's get back to this and just see exactly what they're talking about. The ruling is the latest challenge to firearms regulations after the U.S. Supreme Court's conservative majority set new standards for reviewing the nation's gun laws. U.S. District Judge Patrick Wyrick in Oklahoma City dismissed an indictment against Jared Michael Harrison, who was charged in August with violating a federal law that makes it illegal for unlawful users or addicts of controlled substances to possess firearms. And yes, in that sentence, from without reading on, I totally agree with the fact that, yeah, unlawful people, the ones that have committed heinous crimes and murder and all that stuff, yeah, they shouldn't have access to firearms. But not necessarily addicts of certain things. I mean, I don't want meth heads or somebody like that tweaking out.
Do not do drugs, because you're going to end up like him.
And owning a firearm and shooting up the place. But of course, I guess if you really look into it, though, if they haven't been, I guess, they haven't committed a crime or they don't have any background like that, who's to say that they're a risk? So I guess maybe in those situations, maybe they do deserve to have their firearms be still in their possession. Like I said, who are we to take away their stuff because they haven't committed a crime? So but it's not specifically these people that I guess they're talking about. They're also lumping in to get marijuana users. That yeah, if you, I guess, who's to say you smoke too much? But they're talking about people that I guess smoke it every day, and they're not wanting those people to have access to firearms, and that's it totally goes against what I believe. I'll just say it right off, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know what exactly I'm talking about. But I believe that everyone has the right to own a firearm, and the government should get their stinking little hands out of what we do on that thing, except for a few exceptions. Of course, I don't want, like I said, people running around that have committed murders and heinous crimes and all that, possessing firearms, or they've been in jail or prison for a million years for that, rape and stuff like that. Yeah, of course, those are totally different circumstances. We are a nation of laws, and I do believe in a lot of the laws that are handed out to us. But to bar somebody just because, like I said, they toke up a little bit or whatever is absolutely ridiculous. So again, let's read on and see what exactly they're talking about. Harrison's lawyers had argued the portion of federal firearms laws focused on drug users or addicts was not consistent with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation, echoing what the U.S. Supreme Court ruled last year in a case known as New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. The case set new standards for interpreting the Second Amendment, which I guess sounds pretty good. The federal prosecutors, on the other hand, of course, let's see what these little ding-dongs had to say. I hate to say ding-dongs, but usually I'm not too keen on prosecutors right now, especially the ones we've heard of as of late, like the one with old Kyle Rittenhouse, and that guy lied through his freaking teeth. And, of course, we already know who the federal prosecutor is that can't put two sentences together, string two sentences together, and she's our vice president there. So, yeah, not too keen on the old prosecutors there. But anyway, the federal prosecutors had argued that the portion of the law focused on drug users is consistent with a long-standing historic tradition in America of disarming presumptively risky persons, namely felons, the mentally ill, and the intoxicated. And yes, like I said, I do agree with the felon part. Depending on what felony it is, big caveat, depending on what felony that is, because they try to lump a whole bunch of pretty stupid things in as a felony. Yeah, and then I don't know, mentally ill, you're treading on fine lines there, because that could be misconstrued with a lot of like the red flag laws and stuff like that. Yeah, no, not a big fan of that at all. So yeah, like I said, we're treading on thin line there. And then of course, then the drug user. Well, what constitutes a drug user? Because technically caffeine's a drug, and and then how long is somebody using it, and how for what consistency wise, and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, yeah, who's making up all this stuff? So the federal judge Wyrick agreed with Harrison's lawyers, ruling that the federal prosecutor's arguments that Harrison's status as a marijuana user justifies stripping him of his fundamental right to possess a firearm is not constitutional and a permissible means of disarming Harrison. Yay, good job, Judge Wyrick. But the mere use of marijuana carries none of the characteristics that the nation's history and tradition of firearms regulation supports, Wyrick said in his ruling. And thank God we still have some judges that have some common sense and realize that the prosecutors and the state there just might be overreaching just a tad. And if they don't get really specific on what they're addressing, and as far as, like I said, who's an addict and what kind of drug they're using and all that, like, you could see how this could encompass a whole mess of citizens that really don't deserve to be put in this bubble and will have their gun rights taken away. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. This is just was actually an important case that hopefully doesn't get overturned in another, I guess, ruling from, like, say, the Fifth Circuit of Court of Appeals, which it's probably going to be going there, because I'm sure these prosecutors aren't going to stop with this judge. So yeah, we'll cross our fingers, and like I said, this is just another gun law that we're going to have to probably fight around with, and hopefully won't strip our two-way rights, which are so important for this country, and to bring us back together and to hold off that oppressive government that's trying to always put their thumbs right on your head, push us down. So, all right, guys, I guess I will see you on the next Hursty's Garage update of this internet stuff that I see that is very important, that pertains to guns, trucks, cars, small engines, and all the like, that stuff that I'm interested in. Hopefully you are too. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.